Me when the alcohol kicks in and the sensory overload goes away. The environment isn't too overwhelming anymore now.
2 shots of vodka.
Road beers.
I am the liquor.
Rotbeers.
Hey, careful, man. There's a beverage here.
Road beers.
I drink and I know things.
Road beers.
How many drinks of alcohol do you consume a week?
One shelf.
Road beers.
What's that? What's that?
We should get some road beers, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, we should get some road beers.
We're over Lion King. Back to Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah.
The meat and potatoes here. What the people really want.
Yeah, what the people really want. Building roller coasters.
Roller coasters.
Roller coasters are basically like fun trains.
Yeah. I can see it. Trains that...
What's the difference? Like, the trains are there to get you to point A to point B.
Yeah.
Roller coaster is a fun train.
Would you ever maybe fill a hole with water on Roller Coaster Tycoon and just grab one of your guests just for the fun of it? Toss them in the big pond in your theme park?
See, the problem is you got to think bigger than that.
Okay. And where are we going with...
You make a nice hotspot and you get them onto one path.
Okay.
And then you have some fun with that. So what
you get all your guests on the one path.
Yeah, you get a bunch of them on the one path.
Okay.
And then you build the water around that.
Okay.
And then you delete the path, and then you
and then
lower
they fall
the land.
in.
Yeah, then they lower the land.
Oh, you could be killing thousands at a time.
Yeah, isn't communism great?
Just
do what you want.
Another good feature about Roller Coaster Tycoon. I mean, the game itself is just a masterpiece.
Yeah, you know what's...
From the soundtrack to it, the music that they would have on it, the little voices that the little simulated people would do, the guests.
Yeah.
The artwork of the game, you get to put trees and decorations down and shit. But another great feature of the game is building your own roller coaster.
Yeah, I think what I found out this way later. This is pretty eye-opening to me. This guy, he coded this entire it was one dude that coded this game, and he coded the entire game in assembly language.
What's that?
So you know how there's ones and zeros?
Yep.
It's like
Binary.
a step of that. It's like slashes and dots and shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's why it runs so like good.
Oh.
Like there's almost zero bugs in it, and it because there's nothing missing in translation. You know what I mean? And it's also really quick. Like it's pretty quick to load that thing up because
you could call that weaponized autism.
That is weaponized autism at its finest.
But yeah, so building your own roller coaster was also fun because you could launch coasters just willy-nilly.
Yeah,
you didn't have to complete the track. You could send some people on this new roller coaster, don't even test it, load it up with some people, and just, oops, the track ends here. Right up a ramp after some boosters happen.
Well, it's pretty amazing too, like when you think about like all of the physics that are in it for a two-dimensional game.
Yeah.
Like the physics were really on point, you know. Like they're talking about, you know, it's calculating all the G-force based off of the time it takes to do the turn and the speed it's going and stuff like that, and the banking of the turn.
Someone just drove a rinky-dinky dirt bike down the street.
Yeah, that thing sounds like it hasn't been fired up in 3 years.
I thought it was just someone with, you know when you put a pop can on your spokes?
Oh.
When you're little to make your bike sound like a motorbike?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Well, a playing card.
Yeah. That was actually sounded like there was a motor on it.
I thought it was
looked like a bicycle.
I thought it was like a really crappy like pit bike or something like that.
How do you feel about this warm weather? I am just stoked.
Yeah, the weather finally got warm, and then I'm taking off of work for the whole summer. So I'm going to miss all grilling and patio season.
At least your work. Oh, you guys don't go out at all? You just drink at the mess?
Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing to do there. Like, it's going to be a small town. There's only, like, in Alberta, there's just going to be the BPs.
So they'll have patios.
There is that, but I mean, like, I don't really feel the need to go, like, because also the thing too is like, yeah, sure, maybe I'll make some friends with people I work with, but they're not the boys, you know?
Yeah, I get it.
Well,
Last night was pretty fun.
actually, to be fair though, I will be with my one buddy that is one part of the boys.
Okay.
At least in Edmonton, or not Edmonton, Alberta.
Go to the Greasy Rippers.
Yeah, I'll go White Ave, and
Wasn't it called? Isn't it called like the Diamond or something?
I don't know what's on White Ave. I just know White Ave is the scene. I never went. Oh yeah, the Rippers. Yeah, I got invited to go there for one of our course parties. That's apparently a thing. People like to go spend $300 at the strip club, and to me, it's just like, what's up with that? Like, what like, go see some greasy titties? Like, I really wanted to see some titties. Like, I could just.
Well, in Edmonton especially, it's really bad.
Yeah,
you aren't
gross.
seeing any sexy ladies there. We went to one in Vancouver,
but I don't know. Like, to me, like, give me a second here. I'm gonna rail against the whole strip club economy.
Okay.
I think it's pretty terrible. From a consumer perspective and a worker perspective, because let's face it, the worker could probably make just as much if she knows if she isn't completely stupid and can like put a smile on her face or whatever and serve drinks at a bar, right?
Okay.
And then and she can keep her clothes on or whatever, right? Doesn't have to have a bunch of greasy pedos. I mean, like some women like that. Like that, I guess that's why the economy exists. I'm not against like economies existing because they exist for a reason. But on the consumer end, which I understand, I think a little bit more, is because why am I going? Like I'm gonna get in
with a bunch of other men.
Yeah, I'm literally like going to like a sexual event with other men.
Yeah.
Around there, and we're all thinking the same thing.
Oh baby,
and yeah, you don't bang any of them.
Yeah.
Like I mean, some of them you can, but like what's after like $350?
Pay more money to.
Yeah, like it might as like at that point it's just go be a prostitute. Like, but it's just insane how much money you spend just to look at some boobies when all you have to do is I don't know, like go to the bar and stay there till 2 and just not be a dickhead. Like hell, you can get more action buying some hoe that's probably like the similar looks and caliber, as long as you're not a dink, you have some semblance of personality, and you buy some drinks for her.
Yeah.
Like I just don't understand the strip club economy.
Well, actually,
I think it's because
I would like to go to like a high class strip club where it's like, or like not strip club, but there are clubs that have strippers that aren't really strip clubs.
Right, they're more like dancers.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about, but there's none in Western Canada.
No.
None.
We don't have enough money here, baby. Yeah. No, I went in Vancouver once and the girls looked good, but like then again, you're at the strip club. Honestly, it really is a loserish place.
Yeah, because it just like what can you whip it out and start jerking it? No.
And why would you want to? I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like okay, so then like what's the point? Like
the concept doesn't make any sense. I can go to the bar.
I think the concept is like a layover, like it's a legacy layover from like a time when like for example like this was a time when these came around when like Playboy was that's the only time.
And have you ever seen some like not our dad but like just slightly older than our dad when they see like a picture of a hot girl or whatever, like pinup girls and stuff, and they be like, oh yeah, oh.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
it's like
because
okay, buddy.
Well, they always sat around like there's nothing but what is it? You know, the bikini chicks or whatever, like pinups or whatever in all those garages or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, anytime.
Well, like our uncle who sends me Facebook messages with with tits.
You told me about that. And I thought that was classic.
I appreciate it. I thought he got hacked. I mean, I do appreciate the messages. It's funny. And now I celebrate Titty Tuesday every Tuesday, thanks to him. But
yeah, the meme.
But just getting horny with other dudes about a girl, I just think it's kind of weird. You know?
That is weird. Yeah.
Because have you ever been out with like some fellas and you're all supposed to just go, oh, she's so hot.
I think part of it is kind of like this idea that we're having like an ape fest.
Yeah.
We're like all like screwing around, having fun. Like, well, what are you gay? You know, you don't think she's hot? What, are you gay?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no, I think she's hot. Oh yeah, we all think she's hot. Yeah. Hell yeah, man. I'd fuck her
Which is a really nasty culture to be in because honestly, like it ruins intimacy. And you kind of need that if you want to have like a successful marriage someday and like
successful life. Like let's face it, like just going around and clapping like 10, like let's say you are Mick Jagger and you can clap like 100 women in a week.
Mm-hmm. You're not falling in love.
It's just messed up when you really think about it.
Yeah. It also probably works on that, like, the whole dopamine reward center pathway. Like how your brain treats you to, like, oh, this great thing that I have, I want more of it, right? So
you burn out the circuits.
Sex addiction.
You burn out circuits. And
Yeah.
that's also why, porn is so bad too, like, especially in the modern day.
I've been trying to cut down on that.
Well, they're talking about that there is, like, an alarming number, and this was, like, even 5 years ago, it was just starting. Like, guys that were, like, 25 getting ED.
Yeah.
With their girlfriends.
I've had fair share of issues with that. I'll be the first to admit it. But yeah, I usually don't have any, and it usually is if I've been watching porn a little too much, because then your brain's like, oh, why would I even care about this girl that I have right in front of me when I could just look up big titty college girls?
Yeah, you can get whatever compilation you can
whatever you desire in your brain, you can be like, oh, sick, I can just watch this. It's sad, really.
Yeah. Well, that, and also
I'm starting to go a little.
It's also really messed up too, because it's like, okay, say for example, even if it's just like, oh, I just want to see like a hot girl or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You go like, it's like almost like worse than Tinder.
Yeah.
It's like a Tinder.
It's like a steroids. Classic meme. It's like when you're on the 25th page of the hub and you still haven't found what you're looking for.
That's sad.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's just so easy. Like that's I think when we talk about the whole like relationship and marriage and commitment issues or whatever, that's what it really is. It's just so easy to just, no, yes, no,
well,
yes.
And have you ever met one of those guys that like just treats his wife like shit, like probably settled, didn't actually find love, got married and had kids, and just like, there's that guy again with the bike.
I totally missed it, but I heard it.
It looks like a bicycle, but it's got a motor on it.
It must be one of them bottle rocket bikes I was talking about.
But anyway, there'll be like this kind of loserish guy that kind of just didn't reach for anything in life, and now he's treating his wife like shit because he's just a dink. That's the kind of that's the clientele.
Like a cheater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's one thing.
It's a real sad existence, because I haven't found my lifelong lady yet, but like eventually
it's gonna happen at some point.
Yeah. Hopefully before the biological clocks stop ticking, but
okay, well, you got a long way to like 65, okay?
Yeah, but do I want to marry a 30-year-old when I'm 50?
No, it's like...
Because women can't have kids
past Uncle
like...
Ted-ish,
You start running into issues trying to have kids once a woman's like...
Well, my...
late 30s.
Okay, so even for me, I don't want to marry... Like, I don't want to date a 19-year-old, for example. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but guys are
well, there's the classic rule, half your age plus 7 is the appropriate
I've never heard of that one before.
Yeah. Because think about it. So I'm 25, divide by 2, that's 12.5, plus 7, 19.5.
Okay.
So I should stick around 20 plus, right?
Okay.
Which I think makes sense. You, 28, half is 14 plus 5, or plus 7. 21. And 21 you could even still say like, oh, maybe a little young, but...
Where I come at it is, why do you even want to date somebody that is not even close to the maturity level as you are? Like, I understand if you're both like young and you're both immature and whatever, like it's like, it is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, so I date some 19-year-old high school girl, whatever, right? Like just out of high school.
19-year-olds in high school.
I was 19 in high school. You gotta remember autism.
Weren't you I
was like held back for like social reasons.
But not actually held back, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I passed really all my... kid.
Yeah, I wasn't smart, but I passed, like you have to be really dumb to fail like grade 4 or whatever it is.
Yeah, because we switched schools and then mom was just like, oh, well, let's just hold Luke and Jake back grade. Like, what was the point of that?
I don't know.
It all works out, but like...
Well, because you gotta remember too, I was pretty messed up at that time. Like, I was calling my teacher an asshole and stuff like that, and I calling her like a nice mustache.
Autism.
Like throwing chairs around and stuff like that. You gotta remember, I was like pretty whack like that. I think the worst part about that though is because I hit puberty before all the other boys, and that was a female-dominated classroom. So there's only 5 boys in that classroom. And so it's not like, I've been like that one guy out of like there's 13 boys in the class or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like me and 2 other dudes were like early bloomers or something like that, right? No, it was like me the early bloomer for like at least a year.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucked.
I was more of a late bloomer too.
Because nobody really understood that, like, well, all I'm doing is I'm just walking around and I'm like, trying to look at fucking
You ever get
tits,
you ever get a boner? Man, one time in grade like 7, Miss had us come
she had
up
a nice
and
rack.
Yeah. So
And
she was
she-
really
and she
nice.
also-
She was a really nice woman.
Yeah, she was a real, like, that's what makes it even worse too, when they're like really nice, like,
Yeah.
nice women or whatever.
Yeah. She was a genuinely good person.
And then they're just hot as fuck.
Yeah. But one time we had to like write a little short essay and then say it at the front of the class, and I was 14, so like random boners, right?
Yeah.
So I had to walk up, and I didn't know what to do with this dumb. I'm like, got a boner. I had to walk up with a boner and read, because you don't know what boners are when you're.
Well, I mean, I did, but
I didn't figure any of that shit out till I was like
Really?
14. You know how I learned what jerking off was? I didn't even know.
Okay, I haven't heard this story. What?
One of the kids in my class grabbed a ruler and like made the motion of jerking off on the ruler, and I was like, "Oh!" And I was like 14. I didn't.
You were also like pretty stupid as a kid. Like,
kind of.
Like you were kind of like socially retarded. I remember that because there was so many times. Well, there were so many times where it was like we'd say something and then you'd just like be clueless. Like, what are you talking about? And it would give you like wait for it. You know, give you 15 minutes or 15, not 15 minutes.
I
15
might just
seconds.
be stupid.
And it was like, oh. Well, you don't do that anymore.
Like, I didn't know. I don't even remember looking at my wiener until I was like 14. I was like, "Oh, where did this thing come from?"
That's wild.
Yeah. Which I later found out was late bloomer. I didn't realize everyone was jerking off when they were like 11 years old.
Yeah, that's wild. The thing is like, okay, this is a fuck story.
Uh-oh.
But I think I was like 8. And that was the first time I'd seen a pornographic image.
Oh.
And it was like a Polaroid photo.
Well, I remember you had Sears cutouts of the lingerie models.
Well, hey man, you're 13, right? I didn't want to like go on the computer.
Because I went to go play with the Legos or something, and I ended up just waltzing across this
shit or whatever.
It was like a sheet of paper with
the
lingerie models from Sears catalog.
Okay, so I had a paper out, right?
Yeah.
And it was
yeah, sometimes you would see them.
Well, yeah, because
the sexy ladies.
Yeah, they were like, and most of them like because it's a Sears catalog, right?
Yeah.
The Wonder Bra, extra support.
Yeah.
Well, when they want to show off extra support, they need a big rack on that bitch. I picked some good ones
and the
out.
pictures, yes.
Yeah, I picked
I was like, but I didn't even know what it was for. I was like, I didn't even realize it was
you didn't understand. I thought you knew already.
No, I was like,
well, he's like 12. Like,
I was like, what are
these
dashing women doing on this page? My older brother's making a collage. Maybe there's a project at school.
You fucking naive.
I'm telling you, I didn't know any of this
That's
stuff.
hilarious.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And I never really have been like a super horny person.
I think I've always been bad. But I think it's the autism.
Autism.
Yeah. But it's also like bad in a weird way. Like I know guys, like this is a thing. A lot of autistic guys, no condom, they can't do it.
I don't think you need to have autism to not want a condom.
Like, I think everyone doesn't want it, but the problem is with those dudes or whatever.
It's like a sensory thing?
It's a sensory thing, and they just get total boner killer.
Oh, funny thing about condoms. You remember when I got like vaccinations in like grade 8, and I had a reaction to the one?
Yeah.
And it was a reaction to the vaccine, obviously. But Mom thought it was a reaction to the latex bandage that was on my arm.
Yeah, she thought you were...
So she was like, oh, Josh is allergic to latex.
or whatever.
She was like trying to do a Munchausen's to convince me that I was allergic to latex.
Well, I was convinced that I was too. I think you were too.
Well, yeah, because once your mom tells you that something exists, then...
She's always had some odd ideas about certain things, like...
Yeah. But anyway, so the whole... It's like Josh is allergic to latex, and then, I don't know, like a year into university, and Mom said something about me being allergic to latex, and I was like, I'm not allergic to latex. I can tell you right now.
Yeah.
But no, I don't like condoms because, like the normal size ones, they squeeze a little too much.
Oh, so you're in like a wrong stage.
But then if you try to use the magnums, then they're just they're too much room. They're gonna fall off.
So you're in that like stage where there's just you're like in a half size.
Yeah, I guess. Like you can find ones like they all vary in size. Condoms are weird.
I don't really buy them.
I bought one of those Costco tins of them when I was 21, and I just finished it like 2 months ago.
Oh, I was gonna call you Fogel for a second there.
No, it took me a while. It took me 4 years to finish the Costco tin. They're about to expire, but
I was about to call you like that loser from Superbad.
I get lube. McLovin. Speaking of Superbad, one of the greatest comedies of all time.
Yeah, I was right at that tail end of that era.
That was the first rated R movie I ever saw.
It was?
Well, I guess Gladiator, but I don't remember seeing Gladiator, you know?
Oh, okay. Well, the first rated R movie that I saw that I'm aware of was probably Waterworld.
Those are R?
Yeah, because there's ass in it.
Okay, well maybe that was it then. No, because I think the version of Waterworld I saw was cut to be put on Family Channel.
Right, yeah, it probably was.
Yeah.
Because all they really had to do was take out some of the swears, and then you cut the little ass shot or whatever, and you pretty much have a mostly clean movie. Other than like, it is important to talk about the little prostitution. There's nothing like super graphic about it. Like if you don't really understand what prostitution is, you don't really know.
Yeah. But so Superbad. I think I put it on once, and then Dad came home from work or something, and everybody else was gone. So then Dad watched Superbad with me. It was very awkward because I was like, "Am I supposed to be watching this?" I was like 13.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have like the magazine with the nipples on it.
I guess, if you were 13 and you didn't bloom until 14, you probably were completely clueless about like half the jokes in that movie.
Yeah, probably.
You probably, all you understood was alcohol.
I didn't, honestly, first watch a Superbad, I was like, eh. But now that I watch it, it's fucking classic.
Yeah, it's hilarious because like it's all
there's cocaine references in it, and I'm like, yeah.
And you were just like, yeah, that.
Well, it kind of made me uncomfortable because I was like, am I supposed to be watching this? Like, I'm a child.
Yeah, because it was like
whereas most kids that age are like, most kids that age are like, oh, there's ditties. Oh, there's swears. This is cool. This is sick.
Yeah, like
I was a very innocent child.
Well, like, there's also kind of this attitude of like, the reason why all the kids try to act cool and do that is because it's like a bad boy thing, like rebelling thing or whatever.
Yes. I just never had that in me.
I got that experience, like I said, like there was this one kid, like this is like grade 3 years. Like I don't know what it was, but it was like we weren't even close to puberty yet, as far as I knew.
Yeah.
But I remember he just had this idea, like, oh, we're gonna watch freaking Jason, watch the titty scene or whatever, you know, like, all right, cool.
See,
man,
that's probably
whatever.
something to do with parenting.
It was definitely parenting.
Yeah.
It was definitely parenting. But I remember he had, like, it was kind of fucked up, but it was like, I think it was in class or whatever, but he shows me this Polaroid photo. And it's like, this is the first, like, actual, like, pornographic photo I've seen, right? Because, like, everything else is just, just some chick's, like, butt in, like, Waterworld for, like, 5 minutes or whatever. That's not actually porn, you know? But this is fucked, too, because, like, this is kind of, like, I think it really made me, like, kind of a prude when it comes to some of this stuff or whatever. Like, I kind of, like, think, like, yeah, it's kind of dirty, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of gross, you know? But, there's, like, this blonde chick or whatever, and she's riding a dude.
This was when you were in grade 3?
Yeah, she's riding a dude, and then she's jacking off 2 other hairy cocks.
Jesus.
Yeah. Like, that's the first time I ever saw it. Yeah, like, I'll never forget it.
When you're,
because
like,
it was
9 years old?
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
That's messed up.
Yeah, I saw that, I'm like, that was just gross. It was just gross.
Yeah, and that's probably, like, a parenting thing where the dad's probably one of those horny losers.
Yeah, where else did he get this? Yeah. Obviously the kid knew to like go raid his dad's porn stash or whatever the hell it was.
I mean, we did have very good parents growing up.
Yeah, that's true.
So we definitely lucked out on that.
Yeah, we could have been real white trash, not just like the NASCAR watching white trash. You know?
Yeah. Moving on. Bud Light.
You want to talk about Bud Light?
Yeah.
You want to talk about the fag cans?
Breaking topics. Yes, the darn trannies are breaking into our beer. Kid Rock.
Well, it's not my beer.
Kid Rock for president.
It's not my beer. I have drank Bud Light.
I have drank Bud Light, but only if it's on. Well, like, when I go to trivia, Bud and Bud Light are on special.
Honestly,
what, am I gonna pay more?
Even before the controversy,
Yeah.
I just had it where I'm like, I'm not even drinking Bud Light on special.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
If I'll drink, like I drink Budweiser a lot, like actual Budweiser. Like again, it's just kind of like a stronger Bud Light, I guess. Like, it's just Bud Light is just it just feels so weak when you drink it. Whereas like, you know, you have a hot day or whatever, you want a nice like
Coors Light's very refreshing.
A refreshing lager or whatever. Yeah, and I think I might switch to
as far as light beer goes, Coors Light is very refreshing.
For lights, I think Coors.
The only problem with that is that it's expensive.
Yeah, all light beer.
Like I only buy it as
expensive.
like a treat if I know I'm doing some like yard work or something.
Right.
It's good to have. You know, if you need to like, if you know you need to go to the hardware store at some point, you can have like 2 or 3 light beers, Coors Lights, and you could still drive to the hardware store, no problem at all. But you still are having a beer while you're doing yard work, which is super nice. But yeah, so I was thinking the way to fix the whole transgender thing. You know how dogs?
Oh, get rid of genocide the furries. That's how we fix
Genocide
trans
the furries.
Because once we get rid of them, like nobody wants them. Nobody wants them, right?
Yeah.
Once we get rid of them,
Yeah.
then the Chinese gotta be like, oh, we better watch the fuck out.
Yeah.
We better get in line.
Okay, hear me out on this. You know how some dogs, like rescue dogs, you'll go to someone's house and be like, oh, she's a rescue or he's a rescue. He doesn't like men. Like they don't like men because a man abused them.
Yeah.
When they
gotcha.
were puppies. So you get rescue dogs. We can start a business where we take transgenders and get them to abuse puppies.
Wait, what?
And then you can sell the puppy because then the puppies will hate transgenders.
I thought we were doing a business where we sold the
No,
transgenders were the dogs.
We're gonna have to hire some transgenders. I know. I don't want to put them on payroll either. Or we could lobby the government to get us to put slavery back in place, but just for transgenders.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going with.
Okay.
That.
Okay.
I thought what you were going with was
is that we make transphobic dogs.
You make transphobic dogs.
Yes. So then we can sell people transphobic dogs. So we enslave transgenders. Okay, alright, I gotta rebuild the business model in my mind now. We enslave transgenders and get them to beat puppies and then sell the puppies as transphobic dogs.
I think there's like way too many steps in this plan that are too fucked up.
Yeah, and honestly,
I think my plan is better. Yeah, my plan is better. I thought this is where you're gonna go with this because this makes more sense.
Okay, let's hear
rather
it.
than your fucked plan.
That might have been one of the worst things I've let come out of my mouth.
Yeah, that was like literally. I was just like, it was one of those things that was so fucked up that I'm just like, I'm not even gonna say that fucked up. Like,
but it makes sense though. If I would love to have a transgender dog or a transphobic dog.
Well, there's a fucking slip on that one.
Freudian slip.
Freudian nip slip.
Freudian nip slip.
Yeah, it's New Urban Dictionary. When you walk in and you accidentally see your mom.
The Freudian nip slip is your mom's milker slipping out.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your improved idea on this?
It's not my idea. This is where I thought you were going with
it. Does it involve dogs at all?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
I thought you were just making a metaphor. You know how, like, there's rescue shelters with dogs? You do it with rescue shelters with, like, transphobics. And you're like, just for $1 a day, you can adopt a trans person in the cage or whatever.
In the arms of an angel. Yeah, adopt a transphobe.
And then you have
you could have, like, telethons.
No, well, they're not transphobes, they're trannies. You adopt the trannies, right? No, all these like and then you get these like nice like Christian white collar homes or whatever, and like, they adopt these trannies, and they're like,
so they're like, it's a rescue.
You're rescuing them from like the gay pedophiles.
Yeah. But what about
that's what I thought
rescued transphobies?
That's literally what I thought we were going with that.
Yeah. What about rescued transphobes though?
Do they need rescuing?
No. But it'd be a funny idea. You could be just like, have a house party and then everybody's just sitting there and then having a good conversation. It's like, oh, Mary, how's everything going at the office? It's going good. And then some guy in like a Metallica t-shirt goes, oh my god, you guys have fucking Bud Light here? You guys know what they do? They've been selling stuff to trannies. And then the owner of the transphobe is like, he's a rescue. Don't worry. And then
then everybody
goes, "Aww."
It's like that uncle
It's
skit
okay.
or uncle daycare skit.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's already been done.
Fuck. I'm a hack.
You're a hack. That's where you got this idea from.
Oh fuck. That was a Freudian slip.
The old dong slip. Because it's transgender mom.
Freudian dong slip.
Freudian dong slip. So it's a transgender. Yeah, your mom is actually a biological man with a peenie.
Freudian dong slip.
With a peepee.
The dong slipped out.
The dong slipped
out. Freudian. We can do a lot with this Freudian slip thing. Freudian pink slip. Your mom races cars. She's on Fast and the Furious.
Oh, that you said pink slip, like she's racing pigs.
No, pink slip. Freudian pink slip. Your mom becomes Vin Diesel.
Well, as long as she's all about family.
I was watching Fast and the Furious the other day, and those movies they're so bad that they're good.